Oh, there we go. Good evening, folks. It's Jason Wampler. That's another episode of The Rocket Minute. Damn thing's so crooked. Pre-production, I tell you what, man. I'll tell you what, stuff that has too many options for movement moves too many damn times. I don't know if that is an option. I don't have the right to be funny. I was right. I'm not funny. Anyway, some exciting developments today. I've made the decision about the design changes for these motors. This motor and this fitting I've created the thin wall PVC 1 inch. This is a female amputee fitting. These motors are going to be sleeved. I'm going to run glue on them and sleeve them with Garolite double X. It's like phenolic, but it's black. It's carbon reinforced. It's much stronger than regular phenolic. I'm going to install that, and then, of course, as far as the segments are concerned, I am going to. Excuse me, that is kind of gross. I shouldn't do that on camera. That is gross. Of course, as far as the segments are concerned, I'm going to use some type of thin wall aluminum tube formers and load the grain segments in it and drain the grain or drill the core in the grain segments accordingly. Of course, there's going to be a forward unit, forward bulkhead unit. There's going to be a rearward nozzle unit. So we're going to have all the equal width grains throughout the length of this motor. This is almost the same proportion as the space shuttle booster. So I'll probably end up installing about 6 1-inch grain segments, 7/16 or 7/8 or maybe 13/16 length grain segments, plus a forward end closure and the nozzle on the bottom, of course. What I'm excited about is the fact that these are no longer going to be reusable. I'm excited about the fact that I don't have to figure out complicated methods for extraction of the reloadable of the cartridge, the load cartridge, in these metal motor housings that I was going to want to rebuild. Something or install and integrate into the design of the rocket. There's something in the back of my head told me, as per NAR and AAA rules, and I'm repeating myself, you can't use metal for the fins, the nose cone, or the body tubes. And on my first major change was converting this to gray PVC instead of the other material, which I still have here, and has been squashed on the end, to this stuff. So that was the first change I made. The other thing is, I am not going to go ahead and use these aluminum tubes. Unfortunately, because I have moral objections to disobeying the rules, I don't want to get to a launch meet after spending 200, it gets me more hours now, 200 hours on a nice, lovely handcrafted rocket that I've been bragging about I'm going to fly, just to get disqualified. So you can use, obviously you have to use metal fasteners, and of course on the rocket you might have a guide lug, which I do right down the center of this gray piece here. But I don't want to get disqualified, so I don't want to take chances after spending all this time handcrafting this beast and then finding out, well, I go to the launch and you go through a lot of trouble and spend a lot of resources to get these launches, and then just find out that I can't launch my vehicle. I just stand there and watch other people have fun. I mean, it is a spectator sport. I don't feel like making sport out of spectating things. So anyway, so I want to show you how these attach and how they look. I'm quite pleased with several reasons. These units have very a rough surface texture. It's sanded down and smooth, but it's rough surface texture. So my grip doesn't seal on them, and they're fairly large in size. Considering what the weight of this rocket is going to be, I feel this rocket will gain some tremendous, serious altitude. But I have to straighten out some other things. I can already see that these are off angle, so we'll have to figure out how to straighten these things out to where they're pointing correctly. And of course, you can see the gap in the upper one and all that. That's how they look. So this is only half the length. Second thing I'm happy about, folks, I don't really like doing the fabrication on the channel, but I will anyway. Is this? Did I shoot another video today? I'm getting dementia, and I don't know. Well, that motor is really off angle. So they're along the way of building your own, scratch building your own rocket. You're designing something, which means you're pulling something, a strictly imaginative idea, out of the middle of the air, out of nothing. Out of nothing comes something. Thus is the creative. Thus is the creative human imagination. But you're going to run into problems. This is the same with any brand new engineering concept. If you think you're just going to come up with something and go through it with one or two, or even three drafts before you have a production unit, think again. You could be spending years on something like this. I spent 5 years trying to perfect Lily Class 2 power, Lily Class 4 power, Lily Class 6 power, and we might even get into a Lily Class 8 power, but 8 engines we'll talk about later. But you can spend a long time engineering something. So folks, if you're developing something brand new out of scratch materials, and you have nobody else to look for, you're leading the pack, and I want you people to do that, then guess what? You're going to run into problems that nobody else is going to know about. You can call SpaceX, and they're not going to have an answer for you. Take it to Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a dangerously intelligent individual. He's looking at you and say, I don't know, come work for me, and I'll pay you to figure it out. And then he'll close you and leave you in your work office the next 16 hours, no sleep, no potty breaks, no eating or drinking, nothing, and no happiness and mirth with your wife. You fix the problem because you put yourself there and you forced yourself to do that. Engineers are known to do that because they're encountering problems that nobody else on the planet even couldn't even possibly imagine, and all their creative engineering minded, such and so forth. But I'm happy about this. I'm really, really happy about the. So this right here relative to me, the port engine is a little down angle. So I have to correct that. Guys, if I'm fading in and out of consciousness and just kind of mumbling on, it's because I'm not getting a whole lot of sleep. Kitty cats wake me up in the morning, which is payback for them because I keep them up late into the morning. I work till between 1 to 3 every morning, and that's just not, figured out what my next lesson is going to be. That's me. I've got several burners in the fire. I've got 3 different government grants I'm pitching for. I've got to write those down. I have to set aside 30 minutes a day for that. The other thing I'm working on is, interestingly enough, with those grants, I'm working on what else was I going to say? Oh, I know. Since I'm having such a hard time with these online sales websites, and they want to interfere, they want to go between you and your client, the person who buys the stuff, so they can get their share. That's how they support their website, and that's how they say, well, free, list your stuff for free. Well, no, you don't list it for free. Sure, you list it for free, but you haven't taken it away. You haven't done anything for free. You haven't done anything for me. We want a service from you. You already set your website up. We want to sell our stuff on your service. Well, that's fine. It's free. Well, no, it's not free because somehow, some way, you're going to want your cut. Offer up. I'd be really careful about those people. eBay, eBay it's a company. I won't even get into it, but I would stay away from eBay. I like Mercari, and there's another company. And I know they may have their posh houses, but I've got to be honest with you. If you want somebody's money before, and before they deliver the product, that was with eBay, and they told me to deliver a product to a man in Chicago, pay the shipping, and not get paid for the part, but they would hold the money in escrow. And I'm thinking to myself, you used to be a lot better than that. Maybe I've lost trust with them. I stopped doing business with them because I couldn't get around that rule. And they said they booted me off the site. It doesn't matter. I quit. I tried with OfferUp, but you guys, if you don't offer a shipping service, then I have to tell my clients to meet up with me in person to pick up the item because I can't just ship it on my own. I wouldn't know how to do that. I'm not a shipping clerk. I don't work at a large inventory warehouse. As you can tell, I'm just absolutely positively unqualified for that. I'm a rocket engineer and designer. So what I need, I just need to connect buyer to seller. I need to get the product into my buyer's hands and move forward with my life after the transaction is concluded. eBay is so protracted; it is just unbelievable. They get and hold on to your money every step of the way. They rub it on themselves like foot cream and sunblock, and they bathe with it. And they say, well, we have new rules. They make rules up on you $10,000 transaction. You're not going to see all that $10,000 for at least another 6 months. And technically speaking, they're probably going to add another $1,000 on top of that to sales. Probably, I don't know what to tell you, but shipping's payout or eBay's payout policy is really convoluted. What it comes down to is human greed. Yeah, I said that. I went there. I understand, guys. Just because I was a cheat and a liar for all those years, and which I was repairing cars. Mechanics, I'm sorry, they don't make any money because car technology is always changing. They don't know how to repair things because technology in cars is changing every 6 months. It's no excuse. But when I get ripped off by people who turned out to be thieves themselves lately, it really, really burns me up. Anyway, so I don't deal with eBay. OfferUp, just obey the rules. But if OfferUp, you guys don't offer shipping on a large item, then ask what am I supposed to do. Just put the item up anyway. Give out your information. They'll give you a couple warnings. If you do that more than 10 times, they're going to put you ahead of the list. They'll put you on their commercial watch list. And if you keep violating the same law too many times, which they're not telling you you're violating their laws, they just say you're in violation of company policy and trade law, which nobody ever told me that, we shut your account down. So I'm done with OfferUp. I'm doing Mercari and YuckUp, which is another site. But like I said, so that's I don't know what to say. I've set up a couple of sites, one for electronics, which is great. I don't know the name of it. I have another one for tools. And by the way, I'm picking up more tools every day. And then I'm thinking, which one am I going to use to exhibit the rockets on and possibly sell them? However, an idea, a light came on in my head. Guess what? There's now sites that offer you the ability to set up and create your own website. Now, I'm not expecting everything for free because, if you put a product out there, you work to develop it, you need to get paid for it. But I'm going to take every advantage I can get. By the way, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Give me comments, give me complaints, anything and everything. Just keep it above board because from time to time I do monitor the comments. I don't want abusive speech, profanity, racism, sexism, anything about politics or religion. I don't want you telling me about the time you found the Lord and he was riding a moped at Pikes Peak. I just don't need to hear about that nonsense. I know how people are supposed to behave in this culture and how they think. And if it sounds incorrect or whatever, or sounds abusive and aggressive, I'm simply not. I'm going to yank the post and may even mark you as a contributor and not let you, even access these videos. So anyway, that's that. So the two exciting things are that I've made engineering decisions about the motors themselves. That's the first thing. And these motors are not reusable, so I have to make these every single time. One use, one 5-second high power launch, and that's it. Take them, throw them out, get another one. These things cost pennies on the dollar. Probably about $2.50 each to make. $5 at most if you put something really fancy on it. But keeping the cost down, light and strong and inexpensive. That's the first thing I'm excited about. The second thing I'm excited about, we'll talk about the other stuff, revisit it again. Guess what, folks? I was dreading having to make this coupling, but if you can see the step right here to here, this is almost completed. I had to spend the usual amount of time, even with my experience and skill set, machining down this coupling. That was that $4.50 temporary emergency pipe plumbing package I got from the wonderful Lowe's Home Improvement Center on Lemon and whatever the hell that name of that street is, Orangethorpe, Lemon and Orangethorpe in Fullerton, just south of Harper Boulevard, and it just worked out great. You know, no, God, I got it backwards. Inspiration is 1%, or how do I say this? Art is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. If you want to bring something to life, it's inspiring, but it's not just going to throw itself together. It's going to put up some resistance. You're going to have to establish an unspoken word, a pedigree of technology that's passed down from your first memories or your first rocket to your next. Because as engineer myself, I know there's always a better way to do the same exact thing. Then engineers want to push technology and want society to progress. Forgive us who want to do that. Some of us want to live in mud thatched huts and have drag races in horse-drawn baby carriages. Long story, I won't get into that either. But that was meant to be humorous. So I got that and that. So we're well on the way with this rocket. And here's what it looks like. The coupler is still a little tight, so I'm going to work on that. But I was working on this today, so I got to get some more material off the center of this. That's just normal because it's not being done by machine, it's not being done by hand. You can see the space, the gap in here in this upper motor tube. But look at dead shot. Look at how downward crooked the motor is on this side. So I'm going to have to correct that out as well, and I have to figure out how to do that because the rocket's flight is not going to be very stable with another rocket pointing it in the other direction instead of all the same direction. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about another thing is I'm trying to set up my own website. I can give you the information later on, but it's actually on the phone I'm using to record today's episodes. I'll have to give it to you later. I'll provide you with information tomorrow, a list of information on where you can get a selling site, where you can get free stuff from Craigslist, and of course this site for calculating CG and CP, which I'm going to download myself after I'm done with this video. And then of course that site for helping you set up your environment to be studio ready. You can shoot your own vlogs. We got that as well. However, the biggest thing is, I can't, what is it to say? Setting up my own website. If I set up my own website, I can have my cake and eat it too. I can, instructional videos, new products, I can display and sell my products, give more helpful advice, disclaimers, accept credit cards, accept Venmo, Cash App, etc., verify identities on the internet, over the internet, etc. So I'm excited about that. At this point in time, we are going to cut the video short. It's a shorter video today because I've got to visit the little boy's room. I do have some other things to do. I am going to sand this coupler down, see what I can do about straightening out that motor, the one that's just kind of hanging down, the one closest to me. But this is, so far, this is the length of the rocket. So tomorrow when you see this rocket, it's going to have some fins on it, and that coupler is going to be issue. It's going to be settled. Tomorrow we're going to work on the spools, the recovery cords, shock cords, and the parachute. I'm going to need to figure out how to secure these motors at their base to the central fuselage itself. That would maybe fix the crooked motor now that I think about it. But how am I going to do that? Well, that's something I got to figure out. You're an engineer. One other thing, so we're going to do that and the fins. And then of course I'm going to have the coupling. I'm going to sand down the coupling today because I really don't want my rocket to be sitting around in sections. God forbid something happens that somebody walks on it or carries it away in their mouth, like Paxton or Valencia would. Valencia's on the TV. You can't see her. She blocks the TV with her leg and her tail. She's too big for that. She's not a jaguar in the jungle. Paxton here is laying right next to me. I don't want to pick him up because this is the time of the day that they relax, and God forbid he's not probably planning his next nap, and I wouldn't want to stress him out by picking him up and maybe make him happy, do something like breathe I guess I will. Come on, Paxton, here. This is him right here. This is my buddy. This is Paxton right here. I'm not going to bother to get Valencia. Valencia's squirmy. She's still in heat. Still teaching her how to actually lick her fur and keep it from, for lack of a better word, getting scruffy. She is sex crazed to the umpteenth degree. She probably knows we're talking about her right now. So anyway, so that's pretty much that. Okay, Paxton, go back to a busy schedule of napping. There. and we love each other. I love him. He's a good cat. He's young, but he's almost 50% larger than his sister. He's a male, and he's getting really, really big. Okay, so he wants to cozy up to me. Probably wants to walk in my, yeah, he does. He wants to walk in my lap. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably leave another quick video with the resources to these websites. The one you can set up your own website, which is what I want to do. And then the other one is for calculating center of pressure and center of gravity, plus the right's trajectory. So, etc., etc. There is a place I want to recommend. It's called Jacob's Rocketry, and you'll find it. It's not on the dark web, but Jacob's Rocketry is an incredible website. It's got a lot of time on it, just packing it with information and drop boxes. So check out Jacob's Rocketry. Oh, by the way, I still want to get you that individual's information. Yeah, the nice young man who's a mathematician who shows you in very, very clear, non-unfathomable and nefarious, or just non-understandable math. He's a math professor. He's got a PhD. Kid's half my age. He explains how you find center of pressure versus center, and not versus, but and center of gravity. I think his name is Mike or Mark, or something like that. I'll Google him too, and I'll get all that information, nice neat package for you. And that's pretty much that. So after this, I'm going to machine down the coupling, get it to fit easier, and I'm going to figure out some type of method or means by which I can. You know what? Oh, there we go. Huh. I just broke something already. Well, I might actually indirectly fix this rocket problem a different way. Let's see. Okay, so we're constantly learning. I've got to concentrate more on structural strength and structural profile strength. So that's my weak area. Anyway, my name is Jason Wampler. This has been another episode of The Rocket Minute. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please leave a comment. I'm not getting any comments. So far that I've done this, I've got almost 400 views, 1 like, and 1 follower, which is very encouraging because I got to be honest with you, I'm thinking in the back of my head, it's going to be a couple of years before I get some serious hits. But at this rate, I keep up the production value, keep things entertaining, and I keep making the promise that we are going to launch these rockets. We're not just building static display model rockets. I can do that all day long, but you know what? I don't want to. I want to actually build something that actually works. So, anyway, so we'll talk to you tomorrow. My name is Jason Wampler. This has been yet one more episode of The Rocket Minute. Thank you for watching, and have a great afternoon.